Hey everyone, it's Jacqueline for Pixie Dust PhD. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of talking about a Walt Disney World or Disney Vacation Club topic, we're actually going to be talking about YouTube and my journey here as a new YouTuber. I saw Jen LaForge do these monthly creator updates on her channel. I'll link her channel in the description below. And I really appreciated the honesty with which she talked about her success and her struggles. So I'm going to go ahead and also do this series as a way to pay it forward. So this is completely candid, it's not scripted at all, so it will be much longer than my normal videos, but if you want to hear about why I started YouTube, how I'm actually doing filming and editing, struggles I'm having, questions I have, etc., go ahead and take a listen. Alright, so why did I start this channel? Well, the PhD part in my name handle isn't a lie, I do have a PhD. So from the second part of my undergrad education all the way through the end of my PhD thesis, I was really fully immersed in that, in my work, in my education, and I really sort of lost any sight of having hobbies, especially anything peripheral to my studies. So certainly most things in the creative world I felt were pretty peripheral to what I was doing. So in high school and in the beginning of college, I had some creative hobbies, and those sort of just completely fell off the map for me. Now, I've been done with my PhD for a little over a year and a half, and in that time, I've sort of learned how to become a normal human again, i.e. my sleeping is better, my eating is more regulated and healthier, I exercise sometimes. I just feel far more normal than I did when I was working on my thesis. For those of you who don't know, it's pretty normal for PhD folks to be working 55 plus hours a week. I typically worked 55 to 60 hours a week, and in my lab, that was very much on the low side. I had a ton of baymates who worked far more than that. So when you're working that much, you really just don't have time for yourself or for hobbies. And now that I'm done with that and I just work 40 hours a week like a normal human being, I am trying to find hobbies again. So I knew I wanted to do something creative in my life and something that I had never done before. I wanted to gain some new skills. I really have zero experience with filming or editing, and I thought that that would be pretty fun. So I settled on YouTube, and when I thought about what the channel might be, I didn't really want to do just like a daily vlog of my life because I don't really think my life is that interesting, but I did think that a Disney vlog would be fun. Now, I can't really vlog because I don't live in Florida, so I can't be taking you guys with me to the parks all the time, but I do have a ton of Disney knowledge in my brain that I thought I could disseminate on the internet and maybe other people would find it useful. In particular, when I was planning my first big trip to Walt Disney World by myself in 2017, well, I went with my partner, but I did the planning by myself, basically. I used YouTube as a massive resource, and it was amazing. That being said, most of the videos were 15 to 25 minutes long, even about small topics, and I thought that to carve out a small niche for me and my channel, I could try to cover these topics in a shorter amount of time. So my goal has always been 6 to 7 minute long videos. Some of my videos are much closer to 8 minutes, so I am a little bit longer than I wanted. That being said, 8 minutes is still, 2 times as fast as many of the other videos going over the same topics. So my channel is really aimed at impatient folks who just want to get the information as fast as possible. Basically, my channel is aimed at me. Okay, so for filming, right now I'm filming on a Nikon Coolpix. I also have a Canon SX720HS. I really like that camera more, but something's up with the lens, like there's always a blemish on all of the footage now, so I don't really use that. But basically, I'm just using point and shoot cameras. And for the audio, I did actually order about a $30 mic off Amazon. It's like a clip-on mic, but it really sounded horrible every time I tested it unless I was holding it like right next to my mouth, like clipped onto my collar was not good enough. So I don't use that at all, and I'm just using the built-in audio in the cameras. Now, I live in a condo building, so I have shared walls and, folks are turning water and air on and off. So even if I have quiet time in my place and I've turned my air off, there is this just ambient noise all the time. To deal with that, I run all of the footage through Audacity and just use their noise reduction tool, and that seems to be working well enough. Now, I'm aware that it's not the sharpest quality image or audio, but for this purpose, I don't think it matters too much. Certainly no one has complained. That being said, I don't have a huge audience, so we'll see how that goes in the future. So for editing, I'm using the free version of HitFilm Express. It's pretty user-friendly. I find it to be relatively intuitive. I don't really have many complaints. My only real complaint is that it crashes a decent amount, and my laptop is actually a gaming laptop, so I think that, my laptop is more than capable of handling the footage and stuff. It seems like it's the program, so I just save a lot in case it crashes, but that's really not a big deal to me. So yeah, I like HitFilm Express. If you have different editing software that you like a lot more, let me know in the comments down below. Again, this hobby is a learning situation for me, so I'd be happy to learn a new program. Okay, so YouTube itself. The volume on YouTube I feel like is pretty out of control. On HitFilm Express, I keep everything at the same levels. There's like a master volume level that I lock on all my files. And when I export them out of HitFilm onto my computer and listen to them, they all sound fine. But then when I go and upload them on YouTube, sometimes they're very quiet, sometimes they're very loud. And from what I can tell, you can't actually modulate the volume in YouTube Creator Studio at all. You can go ahead and replace sound with some of their preset sounds, their music that you're allowed to use, and change the volume on that. But the volume of the actual video is just stuck on what it is. I did some Googling about this, the volume being kind of weird on YouTube, and it seems like that's a common problem. But if you have any advice for dealing with that, let me know. Right now, my upload schedule is every 4 days. I sort of just picked this. I knew I wanted to upload close to twice a week, but I wasn't sure if I could fully commit to 2 times a week, just given my schedule. And so I felt like every 4 days would give me a small cushion. I know a lot of channels that do 2 times a week will do every Tuesday and every Saturday. Like, these are the days we upload. I don't know if that is like better. I don't know if people would rather it always be the same day rather than just regularly every 4 days for me, or every 3 days, or whatever it may be. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and if you have a certain upload schedule that you find works really well or doesn't work well. And then when I upload, I'm normally doing middle of the day Eastern time, so around lunchtime, Eastern Standard Time, so Walt Disney World time. Because my channel is so small, I don't really think the upload time matters. I did a little bit of Googling about this, and there was a real mixed bag about when people said it was best to upload. So if you have any thoughts about that, let me know. So thumbnails. I make all of my thumbnails in Canva. I'm just using their free designs. I'm having a pretty fun time playing around with that. I know a lot of people will stick with the same design scheme for all of their videos. I have clearly been using different thumbnails for all of my videos. They are all in the same color scheme. I use like purples and pinks and blues, and then I put my channel logo, which is my profile picture, on all of them. But yeah, they're not the same. I don't really know if that's a problem. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. For now, I think it's fine. At the very least, I think that the logo at least has some continuity throughout, even though the scheme of the thumbnails changes. For the process of editing, I was really nervous about starting this hobby, about having to hear myself talk and look at my face all the time. I actually don't hate it as much as I thought I would. I don't mind my voice nearly as much as I thought I would. I talk out of the left side of my mouth, which is super weird. Not really sure what to do about that. And my eyes sort of dart around a lot, so I am still working at getting comfortable talking to the camera and being able to speak fluidly. I'm sure you've noticed in my previous videos that there are a lot of edits, there are a lot of jump cuts, because those are so scripted, but I don't memorize them, so I can really only get out about a sentence at a time fluidly in the way that I want to deliver it, which is a very precise manner of communication, unlike what I'm doing right now, which is totally rambly. So I don't talk like this in my normal videos, and that's why there's so many edits. And so it does take me probably an hour and a half or 2 hours to really fully edit a video to my liking. And a lot of that is just because I have to make so many cuts. So I'm hopeful that with time, I'll be much better at speaking to the camera, and I'll be able to deliver those precise communications in a more fluid motion, so I won't have to cut as much footage. Okay, so let's talk about my channel itself. So I'm gonna read some notes from analytics so I don't get them wrong. So I started my channel on February 10th. That was the day of my first upload, which was just a very short introduction video. And since then, I've uploaded pretty much every 4 days. So I have 55 total views since the start of my channel, and 34 unique viewers. That totals to 1.8 watch hours and 14 subscribers. So I'm not mad about that. It's not amazing, don't get me wrong. No one starts their YouTube journey and is like not hoping to get views or subscribers. But 1.8 watch hours, considering how short my videos are, and I think it was 34 unique viewers, that's really not bad, considering I doubt that I'm winning the YouTube algorithm at all. Like, I really don't think that it's promoting me very well. So yeah, it could definitely be better, but I'm pretty happy with where it's at. Especially 14 subscribers, I think is pretty good for 1 month. If we keep on that pace, I could get to 100 by the end of the year, which would be amazing, and it's kind of impossible to think about that right now. But the fact that, you know, I'm over 5 subscribers is great. The views on my individual videos range from 1 view to 22 views. So the 22 is my video about the FastPass Plus systems, like overview and basics. So it makes sense to me that that one is the most viewed. My ADR video, I think, only has 2 views, which I was pretty surprised about because I had to do a lot of research about that when I was planning my first big Walt Disney World trip, and I thought that that would generate more traffic, but hey, that's okay. The average watch time on my individual videos ranges from 14% to 85%. So that's not bad. Of course, since my videos are pretty short, I would rather that, you know, the average really hover around 60+%, and we're really not there right now. But maybe as I build up more of a community, that will trend upward. So my channel has 712 impressions, and 1.7% of those were from YouTube recommending my content. So like I said earlier, I'm really not winning the YouTube SEO algorithm. Given that my channel is so small, I'm not surprised. I think most of my traffic is coming from Twitter and Instagram. And even though I started this hobby specifically for YouTube and I made Twitter and Instagram to support that, I am succeeding at that so much better. So on Twitter, I'm following 228 accounts and 69 accounts are following me. And on Instagram, I'm following 28 accounts and 93 people are following me. Instagram's a little spammy. I get a lot of like sub for sub comments, which is not what I'm interested in. I don't want shallow subscriptions. I really do want to be part of a YouTube community of Disney folks. I want to talk about Disney with other Disney people, basically things that, you know, aren't happening with my in real life friends. They're not that interested in these topics. But I think I have made some good connections with a few folks on Twitter, and then they're also on YouTube. Primarily just like 3 or 4, I want to say, but I think that's a pretty good start for 1 month. So that's my month 1 creator update. I'm definitely still learning a lot, but I'm having a fun time figuring all of this out. I am starting to find like a small tiny corner of the Disney community that I'm comfortable with and that they seem like good people, and I like reading their posts and I like watching their videos, so that's great. That was definitely a goal in starting this. I'm probably going to continue doing this monthly creator update every month, whether or not people like this or not, even just as self-reflection for me and to see how things go month to month. So I do hope you enjoy this. I want to be transparent about this process for anyone going through it and struggling themselves or thinking about starting a YouTube channel. I really didn't find a ton of content like this in general for, frankly, like new, very small channels. So I hope you have a great day, and my next Disney topic video will be uploaded in 4 days. And until then, if you want to talk about YouTube stuff, definitely chat with me in the comments below, or if you prefer Twitter or Instagram, you can find me there at PixieDustPhD. See you real soon!